Where are you traveling to, Gratz?
I'm going to Aruba on Sunday.
Oh, nice.
I can't wait to get away. And it just started getting cold where I am too, so it'll make it feel even better.
It's cold everywhere, to be fair, at the minute.
I know. What's up with that? Need more global warming. I kid.
How's your week been anyway? All right?
Yeah, it's all right. The week before vacation, I kind of got everything in place, and now my head is just kind of in the clouds, waiting to get on the plane so my body matches it.
Yeah, nice.
Let me see what's on the agenda. Let's catch up and look back at Robert's AMA, J Wallet, Santa beta test, give crypto friends, and the next idea.
I'm going to drop a message in the Telegram quick.
Hi guys, sorry for being late. In UK, we had our clocks turned back.
Yeah, the whole world would be so much easier if everyone just went on daylight savings at the same time. My wife here works with a bunch of people from Europe and America. Their calendars are so messed up this week.
I thought it turned around the world, the clocks. So
We do ours in America on Sunday morning, like 2 a.m. Sunday morning.
coming Sunday.
Yep.
Ah, I see. Okay, cool. Did you guys do intro already?
We didn't do much. I think people are just signing on now. I have a feeling that maybe there's a lot of people who are going through the same clock issue.
Okay.
We had intro music and everything.
Oh, I just got the notice that we are being recorded. So watch what you say. With that said, I see we have a lot of ambassadors here. We got BAM, Belgian H Barbarian, Encrypt, Crypto Funo. Well, I know that the team wanted to know what people thought about the AMA last Friday. I think I saw a message from Encrypt at some point over the last couple of days that he listened into it. I don't know if he saw it live. Maybe Crypto Funo or Belgian or BAM or someone listened to it or saw it live, and what they thought or what the take would be.
Yeah, no, I caught most of it. To be fair, I was out for quite a lot that day, so I couldn't listen to the whole call. So I got up to the bit before it got handed out to everybody to have a go. So I just listened to the last sort of 20 minutes or so.
Welcome, Humble. Yeah, I mean, for me, it was nice to finally hear, directly from him. Kind of lurking in the shadows, I guess, watching what was going on, and I guess he had his been a business, and so I know a bunch of the ambassadors and especially the community also pushed hard to try to get him in the forefront and get him in front of everyone. So I appreciate the fact that he came out and he took people's questions. He kind of described what his vision was of Stack and what he expected to see over the course of the next, 2 months in the short term, and then even looking ahead 3 to 5 years. I think everyone on this call is very familiar with everything that's going on, so I don't know if I really need to dive too deep into it.
No, I don't think so. I think the call itself was like, he did answer a lot of questions, but I don't know. When it got to the community thing, I just felt like he just avoided what KM was really asking. To be honest, that's just my personal opinion. But I don't know. Maybe he was unprepared or something. I just wasn't overly keen on the answers provided, to be honest.
Yeah, I know what you mean. He was like kind of bending over the questions, but well, because I think they don't want to give exact timelines because they delayed already a few products, so they can't give exactly, like us, when exactly we're gonna have Polygon,
Yeah.
so he can't tell exact dates, but at least we know that they're trying to get 3 to 4 products. Three is, he said, it's like 100%, possibly 4,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
as
and
well
obviously,
as,
I
yeah,
understand that, and the questions you asked were, pretty direct. But to be honest, I think it was needed.
yeah, of course, because we don't have any certainty here, so we had to press him, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, we did. Yeah, absolutely, I agree. I wish I was there. I'd have asked a few questions and stuff, but I thought the overall call was good. His vision for Stack. I think everybody knows what the project is about. The project have got great fundamentals. Yeah, they've got some good stuff that they've already got fully functional that's working. I think it's just it boils down to the gallery collapse, I guess, really, and we just lost momentum there.
Yeah, and I was about to say what you said, and the reason for that is the consultancy company that they're using, and actually they're not paying to them for the gallery, because they asked once, is gallery ready? They're like, yeah, yeah, it's ready. Oh, so they started marketing and everything. So can we launch the gallery? Yeah, yeah, you can launch the gallery. Okay, last push. Okay, last marketing push. Well, it's coming, it's coming. And bam, as soon as they handed over to Coward to double check everything, it wasn't working. So they're not paying them for anything they've done to gallery, any developments, and that leads to another reason why they're hiring 3 in-house developers rather than just relying on the company.
Yeah,
So I think that's good.
I like that they're doing that, and it shows more forward thinking in trying to get products finished. I think when it comes to the gallery issue, and I'm sure a lot of people, maybe I missed it, I don't know, but they would have been better off coming out and it's saying exactly what you've just said.
Yeah, I agree.
See, because all that's happened is you get on this merry-go-round of half the community saying one thing, you get the ambassador saying another thing. Filippo's in hiding, I don't know where he is, and it's just a mess.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, I
I
completely agree.
definitely see it too. And we, as ambassador, we get the news, the same time you guys do, and we don't really have the pictures, and we try to connect the dots, and then weeks go by, and one other thing comes out, and then weeks go by, and another thing comes out, and honestly, just being transparent at the beginning would be best. And Robert said it during the AMA. He's like, hindsight's 2020. If we had the chance to go back and redo it, we would have probably built our own marketplace and our own smart contracts. From the scratch.
Yeah. No, I get that. You're always going to come up with hiccups. I just think they'd have been better off, as everybody agrees, just be straight up with people. What were all your thoughts on the situation with? I mean, obviously, I raised a few issues yesterday with what my thoughts were on the, Lemonade being what it sounded like the last products that would get moved over. I'm interested to see what everybody else thinks of that.
So, well, as he said, they will try 4 products to launch on Polygon, but Stack Bank is priority because this way we can get to quick swap, as well as farms on Polygon, also staking on Polygon. So that's important. G Wallet, it has to go on Polygon as well, because it doesn't make sense, sending 50 quid and paying, 100 in gas. So these 2 has to go.
I'll take 100 now, Christ.
Yeah. And then I don't know, what's gallery. It's because what I realized, you know, because they need to mint their art and all the paintings, and they don't want to pay that. So That's why they want gallery next. But
Right.
tonight we have an ambassador meeting, and I will actually ask them, like, if it's ready on ETH, just launch it, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
And
I don't know.
in other meetings,
sorry.
we've expressed, our desires to see things move. Like if Stackbank came out at the end of June or whatever it was, they could have probably worked on Polygon right after that. But I think their roadmap from the beginning was always release all the products on ETH and then go back and then start putting them one by one onto Polygon. I don't know if they had the foresight to realize that the gas situation would become, as bad as it is, where, it's up to 150, 250 constantly all around it. If they were making the roadmap again now, they would be thinking differently. But I'm with you. The IDO and Lemonade on Polygon it seems like a no-brainer, especially with the 2 transaction fees. It's killer. And the point that you make, if you get a $500 allocation, you're paying $500 in gas fees. You got to go 2x just to break even. And as we see, that could take time. Or it could not happen. You never know with the project or what's going on. So, yeah, I think that's important. I also think, hey, welcome, Modal Monster. I also think it's important, like KM said, to get their main bank on Polygon also, and be able to so people can stake. I mean, people are complaining also about the staking fees being $170, especially given and they always tie it to what the APY is and how long it would take for
On
them
the phone.
even earn the gas money back. So, I know that it's in their mind because they mention it all the time, and it's just one of these things where I think we just need to be patient a little bit, and have proper communication. And at one point, their vision is going to be realized, and we're going to have a functioning ecosystem where rewards are going to be getting kicked back to Stackback often through IDOs and through Gallery, through fees on J Wallet, through fees through ETHLink. It's just hard because everyone feels that crunch towards, especially the people who have the money in it, who are most of the people in the Discord. They feel that crunch towards the end of the bull run coming, maybe December, January, and they want it all to be done before that. But I think those two schools of thoughts are just butting heads right now, and it's tough for them. And I will say one thing that I'm really encouraged about from Robert's AMA was the fact that they are bringing another developer in, so they understand the necessity of trying to get some of these things developed quickly and move to Polygon quickly. And from what I've gathered from the person, and I think I doxed them just on a couple of internet searches, they do have a solid background, and they have been in the crypto space for a while. So I think that they are going to provide some developer help and some focus on some critical tasks that the community has been begging for day after day on the development end. Obviously, they're not going to be able to help with anything regarding CEX, which gets brought up all the time also. But I'm just talking strictly on product development and product movement cross-chain.
If they turn around and said, look, from now to the end of Q4 2021, forget everything else. We are simply working on this and this only. We're not worrying about CEX. We're not worrying about Polygon integration for Stackbank or Lemonade or Gallery. We simply want to work on Santa Wallet and getting Polygon launched on that and nothing else. And they focus solely on that. I think the response you get would be far more positive than you were working on like 5 projects at once and none of them are ready.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. And that is what they're doing right now. All of their development work is going right to, there's 2 things that they're doing for J Wallet and Santa right now. They're obviously building the product, and then they're also building it on Polygon. I think their main goal is to be able to, when it comes live in version 1, to have it come directly on Polygon and skip that whole ETH thing. And I think they're focused on that. And I said it yesterday in some chat. I think with a product called Santa, you want to get that out obviously before Christmas time. And I think their heads are down right now, just trying to make J Wallet and Santa release on Polygon as quickly as possible.
I mean, you guys have tried the beta, right? What are you thinking of it? I know you can't obviously say too much, but are you liking it from what you've used so far?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but at the same time, you got to remember it's just it's version 1, so you're not going to go onto it and expect it to do like 1,000 different things. But it has the functionality that you start to see in these sneak peeks, where I think I don't remember what the sneak peeks were, but one of them was it has an image library, and I think what they were trying to trying to draw towards is, you can put your own images there, your picture of you and who you're sending it to, or you and your nephew if you're sending it, as a Christmas gift, and then you can customize an email to them. So it doesn't really look like spam because you're writing an email and it says, the email address it's coming from. So, most people know their family members' email addresses, or they can recognize it, or, reach out to their family members and not see it's spam. And then it has some other functionalities that you see in a MetaMask wallet, like swap. So you can swap tokens right within the wallet. You can send to other wallets like you can with MetaMask, or receive from other wallets. And then, there's going to be a lot more functionality built into it. I think there's a lot there. I had made a suggestion. I don't know if you guys follow, what Depot's doing with their swaps and being able to integrate other chains within their swaps, but I had made that suggestion to them. And I think, in future versions, they're going to reach out to the Depot team to see if they can integrate some of, their dashboards and things into J Wallet and have a more robust, swap thing. So I think we're going to see a lot of development, in J Wallet, and it's going to become a great tool, eventually. And I think KM was talking about it this morning, with it being, a gateway to crypto for people, where people come into crypto just through Jigstack, and they have an aggressive goal of trying to hit 10 to 20,000 new wallets. So I don't know if that's their goal. I'm sure that they have a robust marketing plan to go behind it. So, and I can only go with what they say, and that's my hope is they follow through on those actions.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've asked today Filippo as well if we can get in version 1, or if it's possible buying crypto with credit card in J Wallet. He said that's doable in second version. That's for sure.
Yeah, that'd be good. Cool. I don't know if anyone else got anything else they want to ask. I spoke quite a lot, so.
Well, I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you guys, but basically the CBDO was replaced by the guy who used to work in Samsung, Sandbox, Anchor. He's cross-chain DeFi expert. So announcement should be coming anytime soon.
Yeah, that's cool. I heard a few things that something was coming, so yeah, that's good to hear. That's just one of them as well, isn't it? So there's a developer coming as well, is that right?
I'm not yeah, developer also, lead developer.
Yeah.
So which will be working in hand with Kawe. But this guy, I'm not sure what his role will be. Maybe, what do you think, Graz?
The person you described is the developer, and you describe their experience.
So he's developer.
Correct.
Oh, okay. So let me have a look what else we have in our agenda. So IDO 25th of November. So max cap is 150k. Last IDOs we had around 200 investors. So we need to think of for future what allocations, how we're doing tiers, and how we're getting Jstack involved. It's not going to happen in this IDO because it takes time to develop smart contracts, because Lemonade is decentralized. So so we need to come up with some suggestions of you guys how they can do it better.
And before you give any suggestions, I just want to make one note, because we had talked to Filippo a little bit about what it would look like to change tiers and things like that, and he kind of gave us options. He said, we could change tiers and do a lot of work on Lemonade to try to make this a little bit different, but all that would do is take away development resources that are have their heads down on J Wallet and Santa. So if there are going to be changes, he was trying to imply that they should really be minimal so we can really stay on track with J Wallet.
I wouldn't even bother making any changes for this IDO, to be honest. I'll be straight up, right? I won't be participating in it, because I feel like that looking at what's happened with Depot and TSCT, or Transient, whatever you want to call it, you could have got both of them at IDO price anyway, right? So I'm not paying loads of fees 4 times or however many years. I'll just wait for it to hit the market and for it to dump right back down to IDO price, then I'll buy in.
That's difficult to say. That depends on the project, in my opinion. But I have a question regarding the whitelist. Will there be any changes, because there was a lot of critic around the number of 50 whitelists on Tier 1?
Yeah,
Is that something that will change, or
there's definitely going to be a change to the whitelist. I mean, if
Yeah.
the allocation amount is what KM said, there's going to be less people. I think there'll be less people on the whitelist. And there was also talk about moving the whitelist to tier 2 time period or tier 3 time period and moving them down and not giving them such high priority over people that have things staked in Stack Bank.
exactly, that would be perfect, because that was a lot of frustration also from Tier 1 and Tier 2 people, and I can understand them, to be honest.
Do you guys have anything as far as like an ongoing timeline that everybody can see? Because I know we keep talking about, J Wallet and, Gallery and all these different things, and we got all these plans. But like, is there like a dynamic timeline that, hey, if I'm switching a developer, right? You guys just brought on a new developer. If I'm switching that developer from, working on J Wallet to getting, multi-chain integration, is there somewhere that the community can see that? Because obviously this is a really, community-driven project, and it sounds, if you pay attention to the group chat there, everybody is all about, this big barrier of entry being such, an issue. And I know earlier I was told, like, hey, we're just going to stick to the plan of developing these, particular apparatuses before, we go on to that. And so if they have like an updated plan, and now that there's multiple developers and they can kind of split resources, is there a way to show that to the community? I think that'd put a lot of people's, minds at ease on, like, this developer's working on this developer's working on this. These are, the timelines for that. And I think there'd be a lot more questions, or a lot less questions, a lot more transparency.
I will say, I know that they're working on an updated roadmap, which will give, an overall picture of the projects and when they come out. As far as the day-to-day operations of what a developer is working on that particular day, I'm not really sure if, that's something that the team.
I'm not even saying a day. I mean, like monthly or something like that. Like, like my software company uses GitLab. We can see, what developers are working on, what particular thing at any given time, and we can actually, show that kind of publicly as well. So that's all I was, saying.
Yeah, well, I think in our weekly announcements, I mean, and you could bring it up, in the chat or something and tag Filippo if, and during the weekly announcements, they can say, what the developers are working on, last week, or what they're going to be working on next week, or what the focus is on this or that. Because I know they talk about each project individually in those announcements. So maybe they can just add, what development looks like, schedule who's working on what.
So, like, just in my experience, with software companies and things like that, and other companies I've invested in, one of the biggest killers of these startups, right? We know, like, a significant number of companies fail, and it's because a lot of them are focused on purely product development. And so that's like my only concern really with this project, is it does seem to be that the project is very focused on product development, which is a good thing. We want that. We want to have, people on this team that are have that mindset of product development. But a good CEO is got to always have his eye on adaptation and, revenue. And so, a lot of the times, for successful startup companies, they're focused on generating revenue to pay for development. And so that's my only biggest concern, with this, because I've seen a lot of other companies fail when, they're just putting all the money, all the resources right to development, and they still got this massive barrier of entry to generate revenue. So, that's really my only feedback, I guess.
Well, I know that there are things in the tokenomics that are still locked in regards to using tokens and using other things for marketing. and for Series B and raising funds that way to be able to do things. But it's like
yeah, and I'm not,
like the chicken
I
and
don't
the
mean
egg.
to interrupt you.
That's fine. I was just going to say it's like the chicken and the egg because you need to develop the products in order to generate revenue from the products.
No, and that's not what I'm. That I guess that's where we're getting confused. That's not what I'm talking about necessarily. Is doing more development to generate revenue on the platform itself. It's a barrier of entry for people to actually be able to buy, stack, and stake. Because anybody really, the amateurs, in my opinion, they just want to go buy, stack, and stake it. The IDOs, the gallery, all that kind of stuff. That's a little bit more advanced. That's that next tier of an investor, right? So, for the biggest blanket is just removing those barriers of entry for people to buy, stack at a cheap price, without all the fees and be able to stake it with all the fees. And so, in my opinion, that's where I would put a lot of my focus. And especially if like now you have multiple developers, to me, one should be just working on that kind of full time. I'm not saying spending marketing dollars. I'm not saying, anything like that, just dropping the barriers of entry for this thing to grow organically and also put, the community's mind at ease, because that seems to be like the number one thing that everybody keeps saying in that group chat.
Yeah, well, that's what they're trying to do by moving all the products to Polygon. Getting those fees down, and once we get on Polygon, we can create an LP on QuickSwap, be able to buy and trade on QuickSwap, and then at the same time, well, I think what you're alluding to is we really need it to be on a centralized exchange so people can buy it easily without having to figure out how to use Uniswap and stuff too. And we all want that, and we see it every day.
Yeah. Yep.
So, I mean, as far as I know, that's out of the way that Robert made it sound, it's out of our hands at this point. That all of the paperwork is submitted, and they were even moved past that, and we're talking to the centralized exchange about marketing opportunities to announce something. So everyone's hopeful that it's going to come.
Okay.
And that's always ever since day one. Filippo, even like back in June, would always be like tier one exchange end of year, tier one exchange end of year, and somehow that became like Q4, so people thought October. But I think the goal for Jigstack has always just been end of year, and they want the wallet out there, and they just they want the centralized exchange, and they're trying to hit these goals by the end of the calendar year.
Yeah. And that's awesome. I think that exactly what you just said, if that is more better communicated, and whatever that is, because obviously a ton of people have are bringing that up, that'll put a lot of people's minds at ease. Even if if that is the plan, I think that's fantastic. I mean, that's all that anybody could ask for.
No, but for them, always their plan was to release 4 products, not even all of them, because there is ETHLink, which will be released next year. But the main ones, Stack Bank, Gallery, J Wallet, and Lemonade, to release first version this year. So they actually they can showcase that to users and as well as exchanges, so as well as to build the community. So they, as Grat said, is from their side to one of the CEXs, everything is done, and they're waiting for just marketing plans
That's fantastic.
And to confirm. But on top of that, he they're in the middle of process of confirming second CEX as well. So what to my understanding, like
The paperwork's
having,
been submitted. You're just waiting for the go ahead. That's what you're saying.
yeah. But to my understanding, they what they want to do. For example, we on second IDO we had issues on Lemonade. Then there is always small tweaks on every product. But imagine if having 100 to 200 k people in Discord and having bugged products and not working Lemonade, for example, then it would be much harder to fix everything, because there will be so many users complaining, and there would be much more FUD. Customer service as well would be all loaded up. But as Filippo from day one, he said, we release the product, we test it, we collect feedback, we upgrade it. So that's what they're doing tonight. Again, I'll be asking where we stand with all the products, because I understand they're focusing now on G Wallet, but what about Gallery? What's happening?
Can I ask what's the benefit of J Wallet over just MetaMask?
The idea behind J Wallet is incorporates that Santa feature directly into it. So I mean, I don't use MetaMask that much, but I'm not really sure if you can put in an email address and say you want to send someone 10 ETH and then just hit send. And if that email comes to someone, and you can just download a MetaMask quickly and get that money into it. So I don't know if MetaMask has that feature, but J Wallet does, and the benefit of that is we're bringing people into the ecosystem. So you email it; it comes with instructions on how to set up a J Wallet. The people, hopefully the gift is Stack, or even if it's not, but if it's Stack, it could come into the J Wallet, and there'll be an easy bridge between J Wallet and Stack Bank, so people can stack it in. There'll be information about all the other ecosystem products like Lemonade, or how to participate in IDOs and things like that. It's just a gateway for people to enter, not just crypto in general, but mostly trying to bring them into our ecosystem, Jigstack.
No, as well as Uniswap is integrated in J Wallet, so basically you can do all the swaps directly in Wallet, and some of the fees will be going to Stack Bank as well. I'm not sure if on first version we'll be able to store NFTs. I'll have to double check that tonight.
So if we already have stacks staked in Stack Bank, do we then is there an easy way to transfer that to J Wallet in the future?
I've asked this question exactly, Filippo. I haven't had reply yet, so we'll confirm tonight.
Thank you.
I think we touched on, some of the things, not as if we don't talk to each other all the time in Discord. I don't really have anything to add. Do you, KM?
Maybe to ask what you guys think would be main features you would like to see in Stack Bank version 2. What do you think you missing first moment you go to Stack Bank, and what should be added there?
Auto compound.
Yep, agree.
To be honest, my reluctance to use Stack Bank is always just because the fees are so high. But that's an ERC20 problem. So I just have while the fees are so high, it's kind of just stake it and leave it. I don't really want to touch it otherwise until the Polygon solution comes about.
Exactly. That's why they postponed as well crops, because we're still waiting for crops from IDOs. Well, it doesn't make sense, because every time you bid on a crop, you'll have to pay gas. So it's a joke.
You mentioned KM previously about the LPs, and we're looking at I think Pancake Swap and Sushi Swap. Is that going to be part of Stack Bank V2 as well?
Sushi Swap and Matic.
Okay, cool.
For Jstack, as well, we're still waiting for full medium. But what benefits would you like to brainstorm if you guys have time? What Jstack should bring, other than tearing up on IDOs?
So, quick back. I know I mentioned it previously, but for those in tier one, provide those that are in tier one.
We can't hear you, man. You're breaking up.
I think he was asking because I remember seeing it in Discord yesterday. What's the benefit of Jstack to someone who's already in tier one? I would say, and I think it was answered yesterday. I mean, Jstack is going to be, a large part of the governance and the DAO decision making process. So I'm assuming at some point we're really going to start focusing on the DAO aspect of Jigstack. And Robert also mentioned that they have an attorney who's looking into all the DAO aspects also. So, when we have conversations like, should they continue working on JWallet or Santa, or should they, move development resources over to putting something on Polygon or putting something onto Polkadot or a different exchange? Hopefully, our JStack can be used in trying to vote on those kinds of decisions. And then also it's going to be used in other parts of the ecosystem. And I think, that's still coming out about, how JStack can benefit you within JWallet, how JStack can benefit you within ETHLink and Gallery and whatnot.
Also talking about benefits, Jigstack will be releasing their NFTs. And so, for example, if you have a Lemonade NFT, so let's say you'll have a tier one allocation, let's say gallery, I don't know. We need to think of perks that we want. You guys have to tell us. We have to tell to Jigstack team actually. I think gallery perk, good perk would be, you get an airdropped NFT once a month or something like this. Stack Bank, maybe you get extra JStack, or I don't know, multiplier for Jigstack. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, I like the airdrop. That could be based on the tier system that's in place as well, so you wouldn't even have to change too much.
Yeah, it has to be autonomous as well. So because everything, all the ecosystem will be autonomous. They won't need anyone to touch manually or do something.
Yeah. No, the airdrops are good.
Yeah, it's somehow logarithmic. They pick an artist once a month. They buy the NFT from Jigstack company themselves, and then they drop it to a wallet to one of the who holds gallery NFT. It's just an idea, I'm not saying it will be, but just a thought. So Stack Bank, Lemonade for G Wallet. I don't know. Maybe less fees. What do you think? What could be the perk?
Don't know. Is there any tough one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Incorporate like crops into it or something. I don't know.
I don't know. We need to think of it. Because if it's reasonable, they will do it. So, that's not a question.
Doesn't
Anything
that
else?
slightly counter to the? Because I think on the AMA with Robert, someone was asking why shouldn't tier ones get sort of a greater allocation for future IDOs, and he said one of the core principles that they had was that it's a level playing field, no matter how big your sort of your wallet is. Everyone gets access to the IDO. Obviously, tier ones still get, they get to buy it ahead of time, the other ones, but they can't just buy out the entire IDO just because they have more money. And that seems sort of counter to the idea of giving tier one. It's quite difficult to balance that with the notion of giving tier ones further benefits without running counter to that sort of level playing field sort of principle.
So what do you suggest?
No, I don't have a suggestion. I'm just saying that you seem to have philosophies that are make it difficult to make tier one even better if you're trying to create this level playing field?
I think that they are open to changing, the allocation amounts for tier one, tier two, and tier three, and having it as, a real tier system where, tier one can get 1,000, tier two can get 750, and tier three can get 500. I think lowering the allocation amounts for each subsequent tier also increases buying pressure. So if people want to move up, there's, a reason to move up in order to get a bigger allocation. So I don't think he was saying anything counter to that. And I know that that's something that they were looking at. And, we've also been pushing them to try to work with some projects that allow us to get in earlier. So, tier one can have a seed price, and tier two can have a public price or something like that. I know, they're trying to find some projects that can work out that way too.
Yeah, certainly many of the mechanisms you were describing there are similar to what you might find in the VeChain ecosystem.
Yeah, because right now it doesn't incentivize, that much. If you have like a $2 million wallet and it's going to go to tier two and you get the same allocation amount, then, you see it all the time, people splitting their wallets. They have two tier two wallets and, getting the double allocation. There's really no motivation to stay, within where you are. But I know they're looking at everything.
Yeah, you're right with the splitting wallets. I think we saw that with, the dump after TSCT was a lot of that was down to people splitting wallets, I think.
Don't look here. I'm just kidding. You can look here. So now it's crazy. If you want to split your wallet, you're going to be paying so much fees. You're going to have to unstake it, pay a fee, split it, pay a fee, restake the other wallets, pay a fee. I mean, that'll disincentivize it until it moves to Polygon.
Do we know what the allocation amount is for the next IDO? Is it still going to stay at 1K or whatever it was before?
We're not sure yet. I know I talked to Filippo briefly yesterday, and they're going to start marketing the IDO next week. So I think starting next week, we're going to get some more information about it.
Do you not think because of ETH fees they should up the allocation amount? I'm just saying because you want to make it appeal to people, don't you? And at the moment, with ETH fees of what they are, it's not very appealing.
Yeah. I think if they listen to the community, that would be something that they would take into consideration. But the only thing they care about, or not the only thing they care about, but one of the main things they care about is selling out, quickly. So they may. I mean, if you up the allocation to $5,000,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I don't know what you think. It may sell out if you find that a certain amount of people that are willing to pay $5,000.
Well, I mean, all you've got to do is look at the previous two IDOs, right? Depot and TSCT, providing you held on to both, made good profit.
Yeah, I second raising the buy-in for sure. Even just referring people that I know to buy Jigstack. I'm like, hey, if you're not going to spend at least $1,000, $2,000, don't even bother because the fees are too high.
Yeah. But then you're going to get the complaints from the other people who are in tier three and be like, well, it's sold out because it was only available to, 50 rich people. But,
it makes the world go round. I don't know.
Yeah.
They want the IDO to sell out. They've got to make it sell out,
Mm-hmm.
and doing $1,000 per wallet. Just, I honestly, I might be wrong, but I just don't see how that would appeal to anyone when you've got a 2x to break even.
Yep.
Yeah. No, you said at the begining. I mean, that the math doesn't go to me either. I mean, I'm out of the country during the next IDO, so I might not participate anyway. But it is. It's not appealing. You're right. And they see that. Believe me, I know that they see it, and I know that they're going to be working on getting these things over. And Robert said it. He was pretty sure 3 out of the 4 are going to be on Polygon, and he was hoping. Yeah, that's his hope on. I don't know. I feel like we have these. I don't know.
I wasn't involved in either of the 2 previous IDOs, but how just in terms of the mechanism, how does the sort of the $1,000 limit work? Does it take a sort of live price of Ethereum at the time and say you can only deposit X amount of ETH?
Well, it just takes $1,000, whatever ETH is at that time, and you just put the $1,000 in. So if ETH went up the night before, you put just a little bit less ETH in, or ETH went down, then it just takes a little bit more. But it's all just done in US dollars, $1,000. You just put it in and it does it.
Yeah, and your token allocation is done in USD as well, so the price of ETH is pretty irrelevant, to be honest.
Yeah. But I just sort of assumed that there was a KYC involved in the IDO, which would have prevented the wallet splitting. But if you're saying that mechanism hasn't prevented it, it seems a bit meaningless to have a limit of $1,000 per wallet if people can just get around it by setting up multiple accounts anyway.
Yeah, and right now, it is easy to set up accounts, but if one day you look at the price of Jigstack and it's at 40 cents or something, it's not going to be that easy to first get a $2 million tier 1 allocation, or let alone split it. So, yeah, it's just growing pains right now, I think.
Yeah, only benefits for people doing it now.
And some people got hosed on it. They thought that they'd be able to split some wallets and get a few tier 3 allocations for transient, and it didn't even make it there. So you never know how these things will play out.
I assume the likelihood is, though, if if Stack ever did get to 40 cents, the tier levels would come down considerably from 2 million, though.
Yeah, it's a good assumption. I'm sure they will. If not, they'll just make 150% waitlist to make sure it sells out. I'm kidding.
Not a bad shout, to be fair.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else. I just changed my name back to Grotz from The Grotz. I realized I haven't done that for a while. And I was always Grotz, and I changed it The Grotz when they announced The Gallery was coming out soon. And I was always going to keep it as The Grotz until Gallery came out. So I think I might have actually been the one to jinx the whole Gallery thing. So I'm putting it back to Grotz. I'm going to leave it at that. And then Gallery is going to work within the next 6 or 7 weeks. That's my plan.
Just before we finish off, anything else you want me guys to ask Jigstack, Filippo and other members tonight in our ambassador call? So far I've written how we're gonna transfer staked Jigstack to JStack wallet. Anything else?
Yeah, when CEX.
Okay.
2025. Right, nothing more from me, guys. Have a good rest of the day or evening, wherever you are. And I'll pitch on Discord.
All right,
Yeah.
thanks, everyone.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, no worries.
See you later.
Good to speak to you all.